Welcome to the Donald POV. I'm Donald Fitzgill Jr., bringing you my point of view on everything I want to talk about, literally everything, and trust me, I've got a lot to say. So without further ado, let's go! Make sure to check out the DonaldPOV.com for instant access to many creative, business, and personal finance courses. For a limited time, first-time students get 2 months free access to all of my courses and over 19,000 other courses. Check out the website for more information. That's www.thedonaldpov.com. Credit is a serious game that can have serious consequences. As I always say, it is better to have no credit than to have bad credit. But if you do get credit, you want to make sure to avoid the pitfalls and traps. So here are 10 tips that you can use to avoid the credit pitfalls and traps. Number 1, stay away from payday loans. Most payday lenders charge you a specific dollar amount per every $100 borrowed. Payday lenders are also notorious for adding on additional fees for transaction costs. Let's assume you take out a $500 loan. This loan will generally charge about $20 per $100, which means in 2 weeks, you now need $600 to close out your $500 loan. If the loan is extended past the 2-week period, you owe another $100, bringing your total payback amount to $700. As you can probably tell, this can get out of control very quickly. What tends to happen to a lot of people is that, if circumstances don't change, you end up having to take out another payday loan to resolve your current payday loan. This is a vicious cycle that is very difficult to escape from. This is great for the payday loan company, but horrible for the borrower. So much so that some states in the United States don't even permit the practice of providing payday loans because they view it as predatory lending. In addition to being extremely costly, obtaining payday loans also damages your credit score. Number 2, stay away from any car lot that requires you to finance a car with them. These types of car lots are prevalent, especially in low-income neighborhoods. These car lots will only finance a car to you and will not sell it to you flat out. These places usually want to lock you into a high interest rate, claiming that they're doing you a service. What they are doing is padding their bottom line, which is their right. But you also have a right to take your business elsewhere, and I suggest you do so. Number 3, avoid only paying the minimum amount on your credit card. In most cases, paying the minimum amount on your credit cards will never pay off the balance. In fact, due to the interest rates that are charged, your balances could actually increase. You should always seek to pay the largest payment that you can afford. Remember, interest rates are only good for the lender, not the borrower. Number 4, never borrow money for a want. This kind of speaks for itself. You shouldn't borrow money for something that you want. You should save your money to buy something that you want. Keep your credit purchases to needs and not wants, and you'll be much better off. Number 5, avoid borrowing more student loans than necessary to pay for school. For some students, loans are necessary to go to school. As the borrower, you will have the ability to request various amounts of money for school financing. When you request an amount of money that exceeds your tuition, then you receive a refund check. Make no mistake about it, student loans can add up very quickly and they can take you a very long time to pay off. Do yourself a favor and be mindful of the amount of student loans you borrow. And remember, you can always return your refund check. Number 6, avoid car title loans. Not only do these loans typically come with very high interest rates, they typically have a large balloon payment at the end of the loan. If you miss a payment or can't make a payment, guess what happens? You lose your car. Now you don't have money or transportation. You should avoid car title loans at all costs. Number 7, avoid rent to own. While renting to own at first sounds like a great idea, it's really one of the worst ways to pay for something. When you rent to own, you are paying weekly instead of paying for something outright. You are lured in with small weekly payments for several years. In the end, these payments add up to way more than you would have paid if you would have bought the item outright. Do you want to pay $800 for a television, or do you want to pay $1,500 for the same television? Not a trick question. Number 8, don't buy more house than you can afford. This seems like an easy one until you decide to buy a house. You'll think that you found your perfect house until you decide to take an innocent look at a house that is just outside of your budget. That's when things can start to go awry, and you'll convince yourself that you can't live without the more expensive house. Don't let anyone convince you to spend more money than you want to spend for a house. When buying a house, there will be 3 different prices floating around: the budget you set, the budget your mortgage broker sets, and the cost for the house you want. The safest decision is to go with the lowest number. Number 9, avoid high-interest credit cards. Typically, these credit cards are offered to people that are rebuilding their credit. It's never a good idea to pay a lot of money to borrow. There are better ways to get things that you want. And number 10, never max out a credit card. As we talked about before, you can hurt your credit score even if you pay your bill on time. 30% of your FICO credit score is attributable to amounts owed. If you max out your credit cards, you'll be pegged as having high revolving balances. Having high revolving balances will negatively affect your FICO credit score. Well, folks, if you liked what you heard, please subscribe on iTunes and please check us out online at thedonaldpov.com. And remember to check out the website for more information on life-changing classes. You'll be glad you did. Till next time, I'm Donald Fitzgill Jr., and this is the Donald POV. Brought to you by the Speakeasy Sound Company. I'll holla.